Why, hello, it's me, the Lorax Rings Red, who speaks for the trees and for the timelines and pictographs. I hope you guys are dressing up and it's not just me dressing up because I feel pretty silly. Okay, I hope you're dressing up. Let's talk about pictographs first. Actually, these are my favorite out of these two. Pictographs are awesome. They're like pictures that represent bar graphs, sort of. Um, and you use a pictograph to display data. So first thing you do when you come into a pictograph is read the titles. So apples sold. Look at the key. 10 apples equals one apple shape. 5 apples equals a half. That makes kind of sense. You evaluate. You might also want to look for labels along the side. So we got January, February, March, April. If I'm just going to notice there's one apple in January, means it's probably only sold 10, 10, 20, 30, 40 apples were sold in February. Let's see, what month sold the most apples? So if I'm looking, February sold 10, 20, 30, 40, 40 apples. So I'm just going to type that in there. Oh, it says what month, not how many. Silly me. February. Okay, the next question says, how many apples were sold that month? Ah, here we go. Well, good thing we counted it, huh? 40 apples. Question for you, listener. How many apples were sold in March? Hope you're looking at March. 10, 20, 25. Good job. Let's look at the next one. This pictograph, starting by looking at the title, Farm Animals. A pictograph shows the number of animals that Jeff saw on his farm. Looks like each little dot represents 4 animals. Fourth, we make a prediction. What is a half of one of these dots equal to? Well, if a whole dot is 4, half of 4 is 2. 2. How many horses did Jeff see? I find the horse, and I'm going to count by 4s. 4, 8, 4, 8, 12, 16. What do we say? That was equal to 2, 16? 18. Jeff saw 18 horses. Let me just quickly type that in here. Always remember that label. Let's try a couple more. This pictograph, I'm going to read the title. Environmental Fundraiser. Carrie, Vince, Richard, Marlene, Katie. Each dollar sign looks like it equals 2. How much money did Richard raise? Find Richard. Remember, it equals 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Richard raised $12. And whenever we write dollars, we always start with the dollar sign, remember? I'll put that right there, okay. How much more, ooh, tricky. How much more money did Katie raise than Richard? You're going to find the difference between Richard and Katie. Well, we said Richard raised 12, so I'm going to keep that in my mind. How much did Katie raise? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. What does 18 take away 12? I can count up from 12 to get to 18. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 6. $6. I'm going to make sure to put that dollar sign first. How many kids raised at least 14? So if we know Richard's level is 12, 14 is here. So Carrie did, Vince did, Marlene raised exactly 14, and Katie did. So there were 4 kids that raised at least $14. Great, let's talk about timelines really quick. First off, a timeline is showing data over an amount of time. It could be hours, it could be minutes, it could be years, it could be months. Timeline showing the amount of time, and the order things happened. When you come to a timeline, first start by reading the title. Technology timeline. Must be a timeline of technology. Read the spaces and the dates. So it looks like it's going by years. Notice where it starts and where it ends. We're lucky this one has pictures. One thing I also want you to notice is the spacing. So 1843 happened a long time ago, goes all the way to 1991. These two are pretty close together. These two are almost on top of each other. Notice 1972 and 1972. Looks like handheld calculators came first and then Scantrons, right on top of each other. But there was a big gap between the typewriter and a slate being invented. Looks like it was like somewhere a little under 50 years. That's a lot. So the spaces represent the amount of time that passes. The bigger the space, the longer the time. The smaller the space, the less amount of time. Let's quickly answer this one question together. So here are 4 timelines. A student created these 4 timelines for a history project, which is actually a timeline. So first, you make sure that the dates are sequential, that they go in order. So if I'm looking at number A, it goes 1981, 65, 42. Not in order, you guys. That's bouncing all over the place. Cross that one out. Okay. I'm going to get my X tool here. Let's see. There he is. Okay. No, that is not correct. I look down here, 1892, 1908, 1942, 1965. That goes in order. 1908, 42, 65, 81. Ooh, 1892. They threw a trick one in there. Let's X number C out. Oops. And then lastly, 1892, 1908. Okay, so those two go in order. Now we've between B and D. One last important thing to remember is the spacing. Okay, if I look at letter B, I marked each one of these with yellow arrows because they're all the same space. You see how that's like evenly spaced? But the years aren't that way. 1908 should be a lot closer to 1902 than it is to 1942. So, timelines should not be spaced evenly. They should have the correct amount of space between them. Remember, more time, bigger space, less time, less space. And so the correct answer, 4th grade, is letter D. That was timelines and pictographs.